Okay, so we seem to have started. Paused! Sorry about this, everyone. So yeah, you can start posting your questions if you want on the actual chat, and I'll get through to them as soon as I can. I'm just trying to stop this from... There we go. All right. Okay. Right. So everyone, welcome. Today we're going to be showing you how we do a very small Tazz Talks. So what I'm going to actually be making is a Tazz Talk Shorts. So you've all been aware of the shorts that actually pop up, and you'll actually see the shorts in about 2 weeks time, because then next week up in advance, Tazz, Chubby, Tiny Chubby is going to be showing you how she does her end. So this is the first part of the process, which I'll explain how I do it, and then I'll show how the Tazz Talk is made on from our side, and then in 2 weeks time we actually get to see it. So for those who watch Tazz Talks, there's going to be a change of format. This coming Friday is going to be a different short. It's going to be a shorter video, much shorter video, not this one. Then we're going to have a 4th of May special, because it's the 4th. Let the 5th be with you. And then we're going to have this one appear next week Friday. So keep that in mind. Things are going to be changing for the next 2 weeks. And oh my gosh, you see the little circles in my eyes. All right. So how is the story of TT created? Yeah. Thank you for jumping ahead and asking that question. Thank you, guys, because I need someone to ask me questions too. So basically how the story is created, it's done in 2 ways. First of all, I might just randomly be watching the stream and see something that happens on stream that I think, that's a story that I can evolve and change into something that is quite elaborate. Or it might just sometimes appear in my mind and I'm like, hey, why do we not do a story like this? There is a lot of times someone in chat will give me an idea, and you'll notice I'll give credit to them. So if they say, like Bella recently, can you put the ferrets in with Tazz? Then I just take that and I try build a story around it, and I actually try and work backwards. I actually try to see, okay, how would this story end? What is the conclusion? And let me work backwards into the story. So if I see something like the Valentine specials and those things, those are actually very hard for me to do. So here's the thing. I was asked on chat how easy it is to create a normal Tazz Talks versus like a birthday Tazz Talks, where we know that Tazz is going to have the birthday, or a Valentine's because the day is Valentine's. It's actually very difficult when there's an actual set event, because I'm limited to that story plot. I'm like, I have to do something for Tazz's birthday, or I have to do something for Valentine's. I can't go outside of it and make something extremely elaborate, like with the ferrets, where I could do whatever story I wanted. I have to stick within that sort of segment. So those stories I actually need to plan in advance, because I'm so restricted in what direction the story has to start and end, that it's actually very hard for me to do that. So, are you working off a storyline Bible? Actually, no. It's actually very simple. So let me just put this on the side here for now, because it's... So I actually sort of close my eyes and think of the idea that's going to come into mind. So one of this is the ideas that actually came up today. Most of the time, I actually have a very, very small script. The only reason I ever have a script that I actually read off is if someone else is involved, or it's kind of a complex story where I need to give to Tiny Tuber to say, listen, at this specific scene, this is what's actually happening emotionally, and then she will build around it. Most of the time she has complete creative freedom, so half the time when she sends me back the video, I am surprised at what's going on. I'm like, what is this? What is happening? But little spoiler alerts and things like that. When I do things for events that are planned, the other thing is, you might have noticed I make some songs, or I do poetry. Those are the easiest ones to make, because you can impress anyone with poetry, and if you make a song, anyone will enjoy it. It doesn't need to follow a flow. So when I do something like that where I can't think of a story, I simply rhyme a story. 100% works every single time. So if you watch those songs and you think, oh, that's very creative, I'm like, those are actually easier for me to make. A tune or a rhythm for the song comes very easily in my mind. It's not a gift, it just does. But the rhyming to me is very easy. I was very good at poetry in school, extremely good at poetry, not so much at essays. So now we'll get to see a little bit of my creativity and how it's actually made. I'm going to show you it in 2 ways of how I do the voices and in what format I actually do. Have been using a basic outline for inclusion of Rialto since he started to pop in. Yes, so things like that where Rialto has been appearing a little bit, that I can tell you right now, we have planned way ahead of what's going on in that storyline. And I'll actually see Rialto has actually been somewhat popping in and being revealed in episodes most of you might not even notice. But we had it a long time ago that when someone first asked where's Rialto, and there wasn't a Tazz Talks question, we thought no, let's delay this and let's make him a different sort of character. Let's make him something that is universal. He doesn't fit a certain moniker, but let's introduce him later. Like you do in any TV show where it needs refreshing, you introduce a new character. So for Rialto, he's been introduced very slightly. He's going to be a very outlandishly different character, and he won't be quite the regular. So the 4 regulars that are actually there is Tazz, Joey, Katma, and Mac. Those are the 4 characters that I tend to revolve the story around because they're so charismatic, and there's reasons why Hardy is not included in that fray. But that you'll see as we go along, as the storyline with Rialto goes along. There's a reason why Rialto pops in and out. Kunik is on purpose supposed to be a very generically set character. So she is used as background, or she is used to further the plot. She's never really a critical character, but it works because we also have plans for her. So in overall, the character development that we've been doing is very much planned. The plots behind it, each story, not so much. So some of the stories continue on from others, like you'll see yesterday's episode continued on from last week's Tazz Talks with the ferrets, because someone posted in chat, I wonder if they're still chasing the ferrets around. Chubby reacted to that and say, oh my gosh, I need to go check. What about the studio? And immediately both of us are like, okay, we need to turn that into a story. We need to turn us going into the studio to find out what happens to the ferrets into a story. That was not meant to be this week's episode at all. And then we build a story around that. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get into the nitty gritty of how I do the voices. And there we go. So I use Sony Vega, which is a very unstable program. And I use it to create all the voices. And I'm going to show you how I do it in the long form way. That's when I actually have time, because otherwise I just record everything at once and go from there. So the long form way is you have sort of a basic outline of what the characters are going to say, very basic outline, and then you split them up. I don't always stick to a script that I've written like in the morning, because as I'm doing the script or as I'm reading it out, I realize, hey, why didn't I do that? Or why doesn't my emotion be higher? Or why doesn't Katma jump in? Or why doesn't Mac say something in the background? And then I'll add it in, so the story is ever changing. But you're going to see why yesterday. I said yesterday for people that were watching my stream that Tazz, Katma's voice is my best voice. I enjoy doing it because it's so easy to make, and it's very hard for me to sound like myself when I'm doing Katma. Now, if I do Mac, you can see it's got the same tone. I just need to stop concentrating, and then all of a sudden I'm not being Mac anymore. And that has happened a lot with, by the way, Bob Banana in the pup dates. You'll notice at the beginning he has an American accent, and by the end it's just me. So Mac's voice I have to concentrate on. So you'll see his scripts are very small, so I stick to it. Katma, I can speak forever, because I can also do this with my voice. You're going to see Tazlina's voice now, of how I do Tazlina's voice. So first thing we do is we insert the audio track depending on the characters that I'm going to use. So I have a script that I've actually written out here. You might not see it pop up in front of your screen. I do apologize for that. Whoops. Script of stocks. This is a rare occasion that I've actually have a script. I'll have notes on my phone. If it's a song I'm making for Tazz Talks, I'll actually record myself humming so I don't forget the tune of it. And then sometimes when I make this the song, it doesn't fit the tune, so then I have to modify the wording a little bit. But again, that is my easiest thing to do. But at the moment, my Word documents is refusing to open. What's going on here? Okay, let's just close everything else for now. I need my script here, and it's not popping up. Script. And I'm using 2 PCs here, so if I don't see your question immediately, I do apologize. And if you're on YouTube watching this, please visit us on Discord, where you will be able to ask questions. I'm specifically moving everything to Discord just so it's easier to manage. I don't really have a moderator per se looking after stuff. I do have Tessa, and we do have our moderators here, but they're not necessarily involved in this specific program or show. Sorry, script, please, would you mind opening up? I have a show to do. Okay, let's close all this. And let's open up Word. It's very embarrassing. Oh. The script was up, and then I had to restart my machine, so everything went blank. Uh-oh. Whoopsie! I almost went offline there. Gosh. Okay, so we're just trying to open up my Word so I can actually get to the script. So this should be it. Oh, thank you. Now we got it. Okay, so I have a script here, and just to let you read what it is, basically the title of the show is called Tazzy's Tool Belt. So I know I want to do something involving Tazlina's tool belt technology. So I know I need to build a script around it. And in the show, it's going to be Mac, Tazz, and Katma. So the first thing is I have these channels over here. I have 3 voice channels, and I will rename them now where, if it will let me rename them, there we go. And I'm going to call this one Tazlina, Tazz. And then the next voice will be Katma. And the next one will be Mac. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. Depending on the emotion of it, I either record them as I'm having a conversation. So in other words, if Tazlina is having an argument with, take for example, Joey, I actually need to record them as I'm speaking, like I'm arguing with myself. Otherwise, I can't develop the emotion. So in other words, I can't record Tazlina's lines and Joey's lines separately if it's an emotional thing, because I need to have that reaction. For example, if I'm going to do something pretending I'm Tazz, I'm going to be like, I'm thinking of one of the old things. Oh, it's the first one, like, Tazlina's trying to push me in the pool. No, I'm not, Joey. I totally got that wrong when I'm actually speaking. It's like, yeah, Tazlina's trying to push me in the pool. No, Joey, I'm not trying to push you in the pool. Yes, you are. No, you're not. Yes, you are. So can you understand how I couldn't have that emotional rapport if I recorded the lines separately? Because then I'll have to be like, yes, you are. No, you're not. I wouldn't have that reaction, because obviously with that sort of argument, Tazz will try overdo Joey, Joey will try overdo Tazlina. So I have to record it all at once. But in this sort of storyline, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to record over here. So I have a script on this side. First we arm for recording, and then I'm about to show you something that is very I'm going to disappear basically from half of your screens, because we need a way to record this, and I don't have a sound studio. Now you may notice right now as me speaking, it's very echoey, and I do this at night as well, because obviously there's no ambient sound at night because everything's stopped, there's no traffic. Because with science, even though you can't hear the car, doesn't mean that ambient sound isn't still traveling through your house. So that's why at night things sound louder, because everything else is quieter. You don't have noise pollution. So this is why I do everything in the evening, and it takes me a bit of time. Sometimes you might have, I've had to record during the day, and you'll actually hear the birds in the background. If you go back to some Tazz talks, listen to it, you'll hear the birds in the background. Or I've hidden them with sounds of the pool that I've pulled from one of KP's or Sean's clips that they've let me use. So then you actually don't hear the background sound of the birds or things like that. Or we just blame it that it's Steven Seagal or one of those. Let me just open this up, sorry, on this side. And sorry, I'm just going to open up the live stream and pop out the chat, but I also need to monitor myself. But yeah, hey, got to go. Would love to hear and watch that. Okay, don't worry, teaching English with Wi-Fi does. Okay, yes. So anyway, so see this over here? It's the, oops, it's the wrong way around. It's the book on how to do technical of decorating. I should really read this sometimes if you've judged by my lab, but we're going to do this. So if I can take you a bit down here, you might notice, let me, because I need to see what I'm doing as well. You might notice that my microphone is over here. So I take it down. Yeah, let's just watch this process over here. So we got one book. Okay, we're readers, people. We readers over here. Next time is dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. You see the recent doctor we just had, Julius. He draws these kinds of books, and this is why I'm such a big fan. And we're going to put the book over here. I'll move the keyboard a bit back. Normally I have the keyboard off to the side, but because I got my laptop over here as well, that is a bit difficult. That is a bit difficult to do. So and then the last thing we do. Sorry, we forgot the main ingredient. Now you see, this is very technical, isn't it? We just move something over here to keep the pages open. We've got like a little Rubik's Cube type thing over here. Put it over there. Then we take a towel, this magical towel, and we just go. Okay, so now you'll notice that my voice has suddenly changed. Do you notice my voice has changed? Because I've basically got rid of all the acoustics. I use a book and a towel on purpose, on purpose, because it absorbs sound. Right, so let's get into this Tazz Talks thing. So we're going to record Tazlina's line first. So we're going to record all of it, and then I'm going to show you how we edit it. So the first lines we're going to record is Tazlina's. And you'll see my voice slightly changes, but that's not Tazlina's voice, and I'll show you how I change it. So now you're going to hear Tazlina's voice that sounds so cute, and it is a cute voice. When I hear it back, it's amazingly cute, but you realize that it's my voice behind it. Obviously, we know this, but it's just, I'm sort of like taking the magic out of it, you know? We all want to drink beer. We don't care to see how it's made. Welcome. Okay, so first lines, and just follow the process. We have Tazz lines, we have Mac lines, and we have Katma lines. We're going to do all of Tazz lines first. And again, I can do that because her story of this short is not interacting with the other otters, so I don't need any emotional engagement. So I can do Tazz's lines all by herself. Let's go. And you'll also see that sometimes I need to take a break if I make a mistake and just carry on. And that rhymed. So let's go straight to the recording. We click play. Let's give it a bit of a break. For long, my clammies have... See, I read that wrong. Break. For long, my clammies, you have been difficult to open, hard to breach. You have always fought the Taznado. But not today, for today I have Tazzy's tool belt. Hoo, ha, blam, get in there. Hurry, let's think of another word. Fits. Right, now I'm ready to open the clammies. Come on, why is this not working? Open up, clammies. Please open up. Come on. Don't fight the Taznado. Right. We have just done Tazlina's little lines. And I know you're thinking, this is cringe. This is the most cringiest of cringe things I've ever seen. Yeah. Try making this. I have lost my other mouse. Mousy, we're up. Another towel. I'm sorry that you're seeing me in this way. Okay, so this is hilarious. I'm glad. I want it to be hilarious, but you've just listened to me go Tesla. So let's unravel things a bit. We're gonna have to put this back just now. Yeah, Jason buys books not to read. He buys books so that he can make Tazz talks. All right, so we got the line there. Now, from there, I don't know if you guys can see clearly on YouTube. I might need to zoom in just a bit. Let's see if we can actually do that without breaking everything. Let's go back to... Oops. What have I done? Yes, save changes. Let's take that off. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get the screen to make this circle bigger. Make the circle bigger. That's an old South African meme, by the way, as well. Okay, so we see this line here. So the first thing also we have to do is save the file, because Jason has done that multiple times where he hasn't saved the file and started all the way back from the beginning. Behind the scenes. Okay, so from here, I click on this little button over here, and this is where I add my effect. Hands down, this was the longest thing that I had to do when I was first making Tazz Talk, is to pick the right voice. So I have, you see the ferrets, Joey, Kunik, and Tazz. They're all pre-saved. This, I spent the most time out of all the Tazz Talks that I've made. The first Tazz Talk that I made, which was the live action Tazz Talks, I spent about 3 hours to make sure I wanted to get her voice in the same way, because it's very important for me that I got Tazz to sound innocent, but also be the mischievous otter that she is. So she's playful, she's got a sweet voice, but she's a naughty little otter. And I got my inspirations from, oh my gosh, I forget her name, the one that always used to chase Bugs Bunny around. I got my other inspiration from Dexter's Sisters. If you've ever watched a cartoon named Dexter's Lab, Google it and Google the sister. I got the voice from there, and also got, I forget the names, when we used to watch Peanuts, oh gosh, I forgot her name. She also used to be a character there. They all had different characters, but most of all, I sort of just bundled them up. Eventually, after all of that, after inspiration, none of that was working. My final inspiration, which was like, this is the one that I want to do, was Powerpuff Girls. So the Powerpuff Girls has Blossom. I actually forget who they have. But I'm trying to see if I can stream or put a link down for you guys to actually look at later. Of course, my internet won't find it. But yes, so it had Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Yes, I forget the names because I'm doing this. But mainly it's a mixture of Buttercup and Bubbles. So the innocent but authoritarian voice, and that's where I got my voice from. So now we go through that first part. You're going to hear my voice as Tazz. Okay, that's not popping up on this side the way it should. So let's change that.
Let's go straight to the recording. We click play. Let's give it a bit of a break.
Okay, so we cut that. We take that part out and we bring Tazzy to the front. So now we're going to hear Tazz.
For long, my clammies have... See, I read that wrong. Break.
Let's cut this out.
Long, my clammies, but not today. For today, I have Tazzy's tool belt. Hoop, ha, blam, get in there.
So you see, there's a part where I can easily just fix my mistakes.
Hoop, ha, blam.
And so there, I couldn't think of a word. I was thinking of another word that was montage. So, whoops.
Hurry. Oh, another word.
I accidentally...
Get in there.
Yeah, so get in there is where we ended. And then the next part is fits.
Fits.
There we go. So we want that line.
Right. Now I'm ready to open these.
So we move that to the front.
Come on. Right. Now I'm ready to open the clammy. Come on, come on. Why is this not working?
Okay, so
Open up, clammies.
we have that.
Please open up.
We're going to move this to the side now because this is actually a part that I'm going to use for later. So basically, let's go through that first part and you'll see basically what it sounds like all in a row.
Along, my clammies, you have been difficult to open, hard to breach. You have always fought the Taznado. But not today, for today I have Tazzy's tool belt. Hoo, ha, blam, get in there, fits. Right, now I'm ready to open the clammies.
See, okay, so we have now video gone. Oh, has my video gone? Is it still there? Maybe. Oh, sorry, folks. Let me get that back. Should have the video now. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay, so we got the video back. Let's go back into what I've done here. So I've edited all of this information over here. I think it's because I moved everything. If you can see on your side of the screens, I've basically moved,
Fought the Taznado.
cut everything. I've left this
But not
section.
today.
I've left this section for later because I'm going to use it later.
Come on, why?
So now what we do is we put this row on silent because the next part we have to get to is Katma. So now what I basically do is I move all of Tazzy's lines away from the preceding next scene. And this is a conversation between Mac and Katma. Now I'm going to show you how I would do this quickly. This is the section that I'm talking about. Mac is basically talking to Katma. So I have to somewhat record it all at once just because of the fact that they have to have an emotional reaction to each other. So when people say that I'm talking to myself, I literally am talking to myself. If anyone ever says that to me, say, I bet you spend a lot of time talking to yourself. I'm like, yeah, I do. And you know what? Look what it's done for me. So let's just see on the video stream. Everyone can still see what's going on. Right, so let's get our education back. And they say books aren't worthwhile. They say books are dead. I prove you different. They make excellent sound blockers. Oh, so while you're here, I'm going to play you something very quickly. Let me try and see if I can bring it up on browser. Because I want you guys to be aware of what actually goes behind this amazing thing. Let's just sorry, I need to bring up YouTube and let's go, because I'm going to show you also how certain things are done that you might not even realize. No. Sorry, I'm getting somewhat prepared here. Where is the force video? Okay, there's the force video. Let's open him up. Rosters have. Okay. So I am going to share this now with you. Let me just make sure we got the correct window open. All right. Okay, so there's the Tazz talks. Let's just see if the sound is coming through. I've come out for the pool, and it seems like, Mac, you'll be with your little brother Joey this week all by yourself.
Yay, I guess it'll just be you and me, big bro.
Ah, darn it. You mean I'm gonna be stuck with this little rugrat the whole time babysitting?
I didn't.
Nah, I'm just kidding there,
Oh,
Joey.
sorry.
You know I love you, little bro. Come over here. I'd say it's about time you get a new hairstyle
Oh
here.
no, you missed my fur there, Mac.
Nah, you're so cute.
Oh no, you missed my fur there, Mac. My fur there, my fur there, Mac.
Just do this quickly.
Oh, Tazz, what's wrong? There is a disturbance in the first. So what the Shh. I need to go fix it. I'll be back. Well, I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is grooms,
Okay.
and then maybe I'll do a little
Right
pacifier
there.
mode, and maybe
Yes.
I'll play with
Jumping
Mac
in.
after.
Okay, so this is a glitch that seems to happen with Chrome. It doesn't actually come through to Streamlabs, but I need to show you something very important because it's part of this whole how I do things. And when you find out what it is, you might be a little bit surprised. Okay, so in chat, whether you're on
Well,
YouTube
the
or
new
not,
Little pacifier.
I want you guys to tell me what you think is being sung in the song that you're about to hear. Is that a word? Who cares? Firefox, where are you? There we go. It's not so much in the song. So there is a background sound to this. If I just go to Tazz's part.
How did you get here? Afterwards, and then
Yeah, listen to it.
Oh, Tazz, how did you get here? Hello, Joseph. I sensed a problem in the first. The what? The first story. Someone has messed with your fur, and I am here, sent from the great article to fix it. But how did?
So do you hear that music? So a little bit of a spoiler in how that was made. So I made that song, obviously. I mean, blowing my own trumpet. But what you may not realize is that there is a background sound there. If you hear it again, there's like a very like.
How you gonna fix my fur if I need to groom, Joey? I need to groom. I don't think I really want you to groom my hair. Joey, your fur has already been groomed. What?
So, if you really want the 411, is that song was played on my keyboard that's behind me. So we have the keyboard over here that I record the sounds. But what is in the background is actually me saying grooms a million times. Grooms, grooms, and I literally hear the voices from the keyboard. So you can hear so what basically I use my keyboard for is that it has a choir setting. So if I actually play the keyboard, come here, little keyboard. Don't fall. You're very expensive. Okay, I don't have it set. But basically it was just this the whole time, but in choir. But obviously it had a choir thing. But behind that was actually me saying grooms, grooms, and use the word grooms. And that's where you get that background music from. So it has the choir part, but there is a grooms overtone behind it.
Oh, it has. Oh, it's really spectacular. How did you do that without even touching me, Joey? When the planets are aligned, the force is strong within me. I'll demonstrate. Look, without even touching. Boop.
Oh, damn! So we can just close that for now and return back. So yeah, that was me saying grooms, and then I just used the keyboard to match what I was actually singing, and that's how you got the song. It wasn't anything elaborate at all. It was just me saying grooms in a sound that's actually gave such a good ambience to the song. You can't even hear what I'm saying, but it still worked. Okay, so let's go back to recording Mac, and I'm going to demonstrate now of how I record Mac and Katma having their conversation. So we're going to take ARM record, and you'll see that there's Katma and a Mac channel, but I'm basically having to record them all on one channel. So yeah, so some things sound spectacular, like I never noticed that. Ingenious, yeah. So it literally was just going to be me going grooms, grooms, Guru. And then I realized, oh no, that sounds bad. Just me on my own. So I tried to double my voice and I ended up sounding like I was possessed. Then I thought, I have a flipping keyboard, which I can connect directly to the PC, but I just recorded again, just. But obviously I can't remember the choir setting, but it was just it is in my keyboard, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use it, and I made an awesome track for the background of Tazz's verse. Right, enough of me showing off on that side. Let's get recording to Mac and Katmai. Now remember, they're having an argument or discussion, not an argument, so there is some sort of emotional development there. So this is why I record everything now in one line. And then you'll see how I have to split it up. What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing it wrong? Gonna say that line again. What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? No, darling, let her be. Ah, it's because it's best to learn things herself, right? Oh, no, it's no. This is just very entertaining. I have to do it one more time because I realized I was blowing into my microphone. See, if I do this, you'll actually hear the p-p-p. And I have a sound filter, but it doesn't really work that well. No, this is just very entertaining. Right. So, that is us recording that part there. Let's stop that. So it's saved now. We can take all this away. Years of money and investment into books that were very expensive. I've read most of these books. I promise. I definitely read the dinosaur book. Not recently, but there we go. Let's just see how things are going. Okay, so now put on my headset and let's just go through cutting this up so we actually have a Tazz Talks that makes sense, and then you'll see how I have to split it up. All right, so there's that part there. This is going to be Kunix. What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing it wrong? Gonna say that line again. What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? No, darling. Okay, this is a perfect example. Perfect example. Now, I like the first way I said things at the beginning here. What is she doing? But I don't like the second part. Should we tell her she's doing it wrong? But I like the second part here. What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? Okay, so tricks of the trade. We just cut things up and we delete that. Now, we just so that it, and the thing is also, I do this so that it doesn't break in sounds, which by the way, we might bring another video up. There are some times where my voice is actually completely different to the original script, and you guys might never notice because I've recorded them at different times of the day and the night. So I ended up having different backtrack or sound, and it's very faint, but that is where I spend most of my time editing the video in terms of, let's just find my Tazz Talks now. This is the one video, I think it was actually in the birthday song. Yes, it was. I'll show you what I mean, where it's very important to have these books around, because I wasn't doing that in this previous Tazz Talks. And you'll actually, if you hear carefully, sometimes you'll notice a difference in my voice because I recorded it at different times of the day. Or I decided to change. I didn't like the first way it went, and I went back and I'm like, no, we have to change that. So I'm just waiting to get to that point. Okay, so I'm actually not going to play the video. I'm going to let you hear it, and if you can hear it, you'll understand. This is the video of when Gustav and Bob are talking about the Taznator. And just listen to this part. You can hear it, you don't have to see it.
Rather just stay indoors, do not approach a Taznator, and for all intents and purposes, never ever fat the Taznator.
Okay, do you see how that the first part is a bit grainy, and then when I say fat the Taznator, it's a lot more cleaner.
Indoors, do not approach a Taznator, and for all intents and purposes, never ever
fat the Taznator. So that's Gustav. I recorded that line at 2 different times of the day. So the first part, never ever, was in the morning when I was trying to record it. Fat the Taznator was later in the evening, and I merged them. So there is actually a difference in the quality of sound.
and never ever
Fat the Taznator. If you actually hear it with speakers, you'll hear that there's a buzz behind the Fat the Taznator, and the other one sounds a lot more like this. So there's a break. But this is why I do the whole thing now, to eliminate that. So now, just remember, we're going to go back to this part over here, where I had, let's just move this across, where I had cut up the first part to the second part. Let's just hear that again. So this is the first part.
what is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing it wrong?
So I don't like that part.
Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? Things herself.
So we just merged that, and now let's see. Let's see.
Oh no.
Let's see.
What is
Let's see what it sounds like now that I've cut it up and I put my 2 different lines together.
what is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong?
Y'all would have never known the difference. I recorded that twice. And accustomed to things, if you make a mistake, by the way, this is a hands tip if you're ever making a video for yourself and that, and you have a script. Don't redo the entire script. Just repeat the sentence that you made a mistake on. So if here is, she made a mistake. Should we tell her what she's doing something wrong? Have you made, damn it. Have you made a mistake? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? You just keep recording, and then you do something like this, where I just cut it up. Now, the second part is of Katma responding.
No, darling, let her be. It's because it's best to learn.
Okay, so I really don't like that line. So we're going to group these 2 together. So we group them, and we're going to move this into the Mac line.
No, darling, let her be. It's because it's best.
Okay, so I don't like that line at all.
It's because it's best to learn things herself, right? Oh, no, it's no. This is just very entertaining.
I actually like that. I have to do it one more time because I realized I was blowing into my microphone.
See, if I do this, you'll actually hear the p-p-p.
And I have a sound filter, but it doesn't really work that well.
No, this is just very entertaining.
So I actually like that part there.
So,
so we're going to keep that as cat mice. This line over here, I didn't actually like. Now I'm going to show you something, and you're going to realize the difference of what I was talking about. I didn't do this on purpose. I'm not going to set up everything again. I'm just going to use one book. It isn't going to be as good a quality, but I need to change that line. Because I didn't like it. Didn't sound really inquisitive, like as much as I'd wanted to. So now I'm swapping. You see I was recording over here. I'm going to take that off, or I'm going to try to take that off. You will listen to me. Oh, we have to save this. Oh, stop. Okay, let's disarm that and record it, because this is the Mac line over here. So I need him to be more natural, because it was just like, I get it. And so we're shooting from the thumb there. I know what Mac is going to say. I know what he was saying. Generally, the point of him being like, oh, I get it. It's just because, Tazz, you're trying to teach. And if I get a beep on the phone, that is the worst. Let's put this on silent.
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right? Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
Damn you, phone! I put you on silent! And it wasn't on silent.
Let's see if that actually came through. Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
You see that? God damn.
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
Okay, so I need that. So stop. So I like the tone of my first one, except the fact that the tone of my phone interrupted it. So I'm going to try and cut things up so they merge with each other. This part over here is the right part. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring this forward. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's go back.
For herself, right?
Again, you'll never notice the difference. Oh, I cut that a bit too short.
Right?
Okay, so now we're bringing this in a little bit more so the conversation sounds a little more organic, a little bit more realistic. And so now we've got Katma and Mac.
What is she doing? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? No, darling. Let her be.
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
Okay, so try and see if you notice the difference between the books. It's very subtle.
She's doing something wrong?
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for her.
So you might not immediately notice, but on this track over here, you can hear a lot more of my background than you can when I had the towel and everything over. There's a bit more of an echo. So one more time, and it's just something you can probably play on later.
Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? Should we tell her she's doing something wrong?
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should... Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should...
The second part sounds like I'm more on the phone than I'm actually speaking to you if we were face to face. And that's because I only had one book with no towel over it. So I was just showing you that on purpose of what I have to do when things get urgent. And I'm like, oh, I need to fix this now. Let me try and get it as similar as I can. And there is ways that I can go into here and I can fix the noise and things like that. But to be perfectly honest, because this is such a small track and things, and because obviously I'm showing you guys what to do, there's like noise gates and things like that you can actually change the frequency of the sound to sound a lot more cleaner. But I'm making this for the purpose that when you watch this, when this does come out, you'll understand what it is. Now, you'll remember I had this part over here where Tazlina is busy speaking in the background. So now this is supposed to be her background sound. So it sort of matches to how far things will go.
Fix. Right. Now I'm ready to open the clammies. Come on.
Because now the part of this segment of the show is now Katma and Mac are actually watching whatever Tazlina is doing, which you won't see now, and you'll only see when the show gets released, but you sort of understand the plot line of what she's doing. She's not doing something properly. So now I have to somewhat put that in a way where it sounds like background. So we got this little slide over here that we bring down the volume, and at the same time we also have this little line where I can sort of digress her sound even further. So she'll be a lot more quieter here.
Clammies. Come on. Why is this not working? Open up, clammies. Please open up. Come on. Don't fight the Taznado. Right.
Okay, so there's a last part there. Don't fight the Taznado. That I want this to be somewhat the last part that leads off. So Katma will stop speaking and this will lead off. I'm leaving a bit of a blank here. You'll see there's no talking here because this part is pretty generic. This part is a part of the story that's important, where we understand that Katma is not actually leaving Tazlina alone because she's trying to teach her something. She's leaving it alone because it's entertaining. And that's the part that everyone needs to grasp on when they see the story. So basically, this entire story was about Taz's using her tool belt, but the crux of the story, the plot line to the story, was not actually how Tazlina is using her tool belt, but we also character building for Katmai, because we want to show that Katmai sometimes doesn't always do things because she's an authority or she's the queen. Sometimes she's just an otter that's mischievous and naughty, and she just wants to watch Tazz doing something because it's funny. So that's the part of Katmai which we try and connect to the actual otters, because real Katmai is a naughty little otter. She was the original Tazlina, but of course she's queen, but she's OG Tazlina. Do you understand? She's very naughty, but she doesn't act like it because she's proper, but she's got a bit of an otter side of her. So this part, there must not be any background sound, because you guys need to hear the line. This part over here where these guys are having normal conversation, that's not a hook. That's just explaining what's about to happen. And I'll demonstrate what it looks like if I had everything in one. So let's watch from this part here.
The cammies.
Oh,
Come on.
What is she doing?
sorry.
Should we
let's go.
tell her she's doing...
The cammies.
What is she doing?
Working.
Should we tell her she's doing something wrong?
Up, Cammy.
No, darling. Let her be.
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
The Taznado.
Okay, so we need to move that a little bit more further.
It's very entertaining.
Fight the Taznado.
Okay, so in this part we can actually make it just a little bit louder. Still background, but enough that it comes through, because that's the send-off.
Entertaining.
Fight the Taznado.
Okay, so we hear that
For
part again.
herself, right?
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
Fight the
Now,
Taznado.
just for the sake of argument, let's play that again where I have background music to the actual punchline. It's not a joke, but it's to the end off, the send off of the part that I actually want you to focus on.
Right?
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
Fight the
You see,
Taznado.
that part there wouldn't be very powerful if you were trying to focus on what Tazz is saying in the background. Because again, that is the sort of like, oh, so that's why Katmai is doing that. This part over here is fine. Okay, so let us all go back and hear this from the beginning. And now we will save it again. And in post, I'll actually show something afterwards, but let's just get through this.
For long, my clammies, you have been difficult to open, hard to breach. You have always fought the Taznado. But not today, for today I have Tazzy's tool belt. Hoo, ha, blam, get in there, fix. Right, now I'm ready to open the clammies. Come on,
What is she doing?
working.
Should we tell her she's doing something wrong? No, darling. Let her be.
Oh, I get it. It's because Tazlina should learn things for herself, right?
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
Fight the Taznado.
Can I actually make that go? I want to do something here, a little bit of a trick. No, stop, you silly thing. Why did you go all the way there? So it actually progressively gets louder.
Fight the Taznado.
So let's make this a bit higher. And then this a bit lower. Oh, I keep doing that. And it's my fault. Because we eventually want to return it. You see, as this part is ending here, we almost want it to return back to normal volume. So you get that last Taznado.
This is just very entertaining.
Fight the Taznado.
Alright, so let's listen to that one more time.
Oh, no. It's no. This is just very entertaining.
Fight the Taznado.
Not so loud. Okay, so there we go. Exactly, and hello. Don't fight that Taznado. Yeah, so that's the send-off line that will be. So now we have essentially finished a Tazz Talks. We have finished a Tazz Talk short that this is how it will develop. Now, the real thing about this, is that you'll actually hear that there are definitely supposed to be sound effects here. There might be music. What I actually do is I have to do that, or I have to put that in after Tiny Tuber has drawn her cartoon or her animation, sorry, because then I have to match the sound to her animation, not to me. So in all retrospects, she used to try and draw things as much to match what I sent her, even with sound files. And we realized that was kind of restrictive in a way. And I realized that, wait, that shouldn't be that way. So even in the last one with the boxes and the ferrets, I'll actually show you what we did. And be prepared, because if I can find it, it's kind of a bit of a reveal of how cheesy things can actually get. Yes, let's save this one. Now, for the sake of
Also this?
Hey, Tazz.
Auntie
Hey, Kat.
Katie.
oops, we don't want to see that one. I've revealed too much. That is a future episode. So yes, KP's going to be in the next Tazz Talks. Now you have to watch. Now you have to watch. KP's going to be in the next Tazz Talks. Do you understand that? KP's going to be in the next Tazz Talks.
Get into, because I'm not small enough.
I could help you.
No, that's still the wrong one. Damn it. Where is it? Don't pay attention. I think that one's it. It could be it. Ooh, good gracious. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll actually download. I'll actually show you the original file that I actually downloaded. You'll understand of what actually goes behind it, and then that will be the last part that we'll actually show of how we actually make a Tazz Talk. So sometimes I don't put any sound effects. I literally, while the video is explaining, I send the file to Tiny Tuber, and in the file I'll actually be telling her what is happening in that scene, possibly. I don't do it for the entire thing. She has most of the creativity comes out for her. As mentioned, when I get the Tazz Talks back, my mind is blown as to what was actually made, because I'm like, how did you know you were going to do that? Like, one of the biggest example is the recent Tazz Talk short when Kunik is walking behind. I had nothing to do with that. That was not me that said to do that. That was completely on her side, and it was hilarious. I'm like, that is so random. Like, but it made sense. It made sense. It's, in all retrospect, that is what y'all commented on the most. So I'm just
We
gonna
really had a good response to the last Tazz.
just going to fast forward again. You
Tazzy
just need to
wanted
hear
to
it.
groom them.
Seen the ferrets.
What?
Now you'll see there's no tip tap south thing.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Door smash. Oh no. What has happened? Door smash.
Do you hear that again? That's me actually saying door smash.
Door smash. Oh no. What has happened?
Where are the
Now,
ferrets?
Hey,
What?
she chased it. Wanted to groom all our fur. Our fur has never looked this splendid. But then she wanted to. Guys, be quiet.
Where is Taslina?
She's still here.
now listen to the background, me speaking.
Where are you?
Oh gosh. Tazzy? Everyone, gather close.
Did you see that?
What?
Of the shadow
What
background.
was that?
Sound of boxes moving, different items shaking. Cut to scenes of objects, all
Where is
disorientated.
it?
Tazzy looms, Lassie the otter. Do not fight the Tazz, don't even bother. You will all be groomed.
Door smash. Taslina may spy with.
So it had no music. It had no sound effects or plitter platter. So the music, by the way, I downloaded. It's royalty free. I'll openly say, please go watch the Tazz Talk again and see how the horror music matches to Taslina talking. That was completely accidental. I literally took that music, put it in, and it somewhat matched it, and then with using Vegas, moved it just like that to the left, and it completely fits what Tazlina was doing. I couldn't have found a better song, and it was my first horror download. That was no inspired mind behind that. The way that song matched and the crescendo happened to Katma breaking into the door was completely unintentional. It just worked out so well, and when I heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this music is brilliant. But if you go back, you hear me.
You will all be groomed.
Door smash. So the door smash was added post-production afterwards. So this Tazz Talks, which you'll hear here, which is this one over here, that I just made, sorry, you'll actually hear no sound at all or any music. When Tiny Tube is finished with her cartoon and she sends it back, I'll add the sound effects afterwards. But you'll see sometimes I give cues of what is happening so that she knows how to draw it. Not that I'm telling her what she must draw, that she knows that Katma is coming through the door or that we're going through the door. So she can make the door swing open. But besides that, she has complete creativity. I mean, that whole point where I'm talking in the background, I'm said cut to scene of moving objects and moving that. She said, no, basically, we're focusing just on the Otters and having Tazz walk in front and behind while that's how she represented the center of the room, which was a lot better. But she knew during that scene that there was a bit of chaos going around based on what I was saying. So she went and made something completely different. But she knew that was the scene that Tazlina was lurking in the background, basically stalking them. And that's how that came out. And that's where you get the horror. And then everything else changed. So most of that idea, by the way, of Mac, and that sometimes she actually does give the inspiration, most of that was actually her idea towards the end of of Mac taping everything up and her finding the pen. And then I just like, okay, if you're finding the pen, why don't you say you're about to write the credits? So it's a nice lead in. The realtor thing is something we've been planning for so long that we knew exactly what we were going to do with it. And that's where most of the detail has gone. So you see the way the realtor is slowly appearing, and there is going to be more segments throughout the weeks. I promise you, before the end of season 1, you're going to see Rialto, and you're going to see his face, and you're going to see what his purpose is in all this mess, and then we're going to go on to season 2. So this is the amount of effort that goes into a Tazz Talks, and this is why there's a number of reasons to explain why I took this away from doing the live Tazz Talks with the clips. I still want to do that. That is still entertaining. But you know, with this format, I can be more creative. I don't have to wait for Tazlina to do something special in the pool for me to make something. So that's how it basically ended up being. And this was completely accidental that we ended up doing Tazz Talks. So for those that are late to the party, this developed when I made a sound clip because it was the first time Joey and Tazlina were taken away to the back. And we didn't see them for about a week. So I made a voice clip to show what was happening in the background. And it was just a voice clip. The very first Tazz Talk was just a voice clip of what I thought they were doing. Tiny Tuba saw that, and without me prompting her, I didn't ask her to do anything. She made a cartoon about it and sent it back and posted it on the forum. And then we had the conversation. We're like, oh my gosh, we should do this all the time. We should just make Tazz Talks and invent our own stories. So the reason I'm doing a lot more Tazz Talk stories as opposed to the clips is because of the donation scheme that I'm running at the moment for the manatees and the otters. I feel more comfortable doing that with Tazz Talks because it's our own creation. It's our own copyright, so to speak. It's inspired by real animals, but it is completely ours. I do not want to monetize a clip from MMRC. That is not fair on them, and I will not monetize it ever. So if I ever make a clip with a live animal, I will never monetize their stuff. I still direct all the traffic back to MMRC from my channel. I'll say you need to go support these otters and Van Aqua. But at the same time as well, the adoptions are not running, so it doesn't feel fair to do that with their clips. If I do something with their clips, it does fall a little bit under fair use. I keep it short, and I make sure that they get all the credit, and there's absolutely no way that we're monetizing it because it will be unfair for me to monetize their clip of the otters and then end up donating to the manatees or otters at another aquarium. That'll be unfair because then they deserve it. They deserve all the credit for that video and they deserve all the monetization for that video. So that's why I haven't done a lot of that, and these take so much time. So it's not saying I'll never do that again. The MMRC and the admin, the wizard, has expressed his belief behind that. He's not been horrible about it. He's been very fair and just. He's been very accommodating. He's made certain allowances, and some things he hasn't allowed. Some of it I might agree on, other things we don't agree on. That doesn't take away from what I do on MMRC, and it's cordial. So even if I say I don't agree with that, you know what? We all have an opinion. But in all retrospect, if I do something, and there is sometimes I want to do something, and I just can't find the clip, I completely reward them. I've been very grateful that the trainers have let me use their clips, and we've made some shorts about them. And then again, that all goes back to them. No merch, no monetization. Everything must be credited to them. At some points, I actually just give them the clip and I say, you can use this if you want to. I'm not going to use this clip. So it's completely on their side. But they've been very accommodating with what we've been using. So these Tazz talks that we make with the trainers in them, they're very willing to do this and they're very happy to do that. They have full permission, even without permission, that they can go use that clip on their own channel, that they can use it for themselves in any formal fashion because it has them in it, of course. So I try to limit the amount of stuff that I'm using from MMRC. If for any reason I'm doing it to help another organization, then there's no monetization at all. A follow up to that is the reason I haven't been doing a lot of pup dates. It's partially connected to that, but also because we've devoted so much time to Tazz Talks. Now you've seen how long it's taken to make a 30-second clip. This is a 30-second clip that TinyTuber still has to go animate. The good news though is when we do take a break from Tazz Talks, because we need to break them up into seasons, I will revisit those other videos. I will compensate for the loss of Tazz Talks and subsidize it with those. But when that happens, there will be no monetization. There'll be no merch store advertising. There'll be nothing that will be using their footage to help another organization. That's not, it's still helping animals, but it's not fair. And at the moment, due to the transition and all that, it's just best not to anyway. It's best not to try do anything. Could cause a problem for reasons I don't understand or I don't need to understand. I just know if I'm using their footage, there'll be none of that. So I thank you for your support. I thank you for watching. So what we'll do now is this file I will now send to TinyTuber. And then next weekend, TinyTuber will be back on Discord. We might not film it on YouTube, by the way. I'm very sorry. I've just done this for a special case. TinyTuber, if she wants to upload it to her channel afterwards, that's her choice because that's her content. But we will be back on Discord where she will show how she draws things for what I make for her. So when I send her this voice clip, she goes and draws it. So there we go. An old word that is truly used for honorable, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, I try to be fair. I have made some mistakes. I have sometimes crossed the lines unintentionally and things like that. So I'm not completely innocent in the game, so to speak, where I thought I could use footage and apparently wasn't allowed to use footage. And I'm like, oops. But there are other times that I've completely used footage and I felt they've been unfair. But in most times, we've been completely amicable about the information being shared, about the content being shared. And I am overwhelmingly grateful how supportive the Van Aqua staff have been with Tazz Talks, with KP doing her reaction videos, Jess submitting footage, Rachel submitting footage, and them being so eager to be part of this, mentioning it in their shows. I never thought we would reach this level with Tazz Talks at all. And this fan base, as small as it is, it's very dear to me and very special to me. If I never grow, I'll be completely happy where I am right now, to be perfectly honest. And I appreciate that this effort that we're putting in is being enjoyed by yourselves, and I appreciate your return. I don't expect everyone to buy merch. The reason I started merch was because we had no way to donate things, and I wanted to do something well, if you're going to give us something that we're going to donate, we want to give you something. And so far, as I mentioned on Twitch, which some of you haven't seen, on the One Merch store, we officially aligned with an organization, Save the Manatee Club. So nothing less than 10% of profits automatically get donated. So it's not something that we get and then we go do it ourselves. They automatically donate. You've seen the post on YouTube, and it's been going off with every purchase. Your donation has been approved. Your donation has been approved. Your donation. They're doing it for us. They immediately donate to that organization, and it's an approved organization. And I really feel that's very important. We're up to something, gosh, collectively, we have passed the $100 mark. And that's been within the last 2 weeks that we've been officially assigned to an organization. So Save the Manatee Club has got $100, and they're like, where did this come from? I have no idea. Who's been doing this? So it's been fun. They didn't have an otter organization. They had sea turtles and sea potatoes. I feel sea turtles get enough representation and all, not enough for manatees. So we went for the manatees. But thank you very much for joining my little stream. It went a little bit over time, but I thank you very much. And please look forward to the Tazz talk that's coming this week, because I went and almost spoiled it. I will tell you, KP will be in it. It will be a Tazz talk short, because on the 4th of May, we're doing something very special again. And again, it's going to be difficult because I have to stick within a certain parameter of a storyline that I can't move away from. So it is going to take a bit of time. And then the following week, hopefully, we will release this. You will get to see this as a Tazz Talks, and now you can understand the amount of work that went behind it. It's not that long. It took one evening. It took, what, an hour to make a Tazz Talk short, but for a 30-second video. Now, this is also why we can't make them any longer. We've had them, please make this longer, please make this 8 minutes, please make this 15 minutes. Do your mathematical equation and understand that it took an hour to make a 30-second video. Yes, we were having a conversation, and now imagine that amount of work going into an 18-minute or 20-minute video. And that's just from the voice side of things. We still have Tiny Tuba that she has to go and draw all of this. So you would not get this once a week. You'd probably get this once a month if it was a 30-minute or 20 to 30-minute video. So this is why they're short, but we hope you enjoy them. Watch the playlist and keep your eye out, because Rialto's not done, and we are going to be, you will get a nice surprise. But thanks a lot. You should win an award, national recognition. No. I just like you guys' support. It's not this type of thing, oh, I don't think myself as a hero. There's not that sort of storyline. I really just appreciate your guys' support. I just ask you keep watching, you keep this notification up, you share this with your friends, but I don't need national recognition. That's too much. God damn, that's pressure. I just love the fact that you guys enjoy this and that you guys have extended your wishes. For those of you that have joined the Discord channel temporarily, please stay on it for next week, because that's when Tiny Tuba will be back. And enjoy the freedoms of the Discord. Go to the channels. There's games and things to be had, conversations to be made. But don't forget about our Otters. I still want us to all watch the Otters. Please, let's continue to watch the Otters. And I'll see you on the MMRC Discord as well. Have a good night, everybody. And thank you for joining the stream. So yes, put your noses to the screen. Put your noses to the screen. Thank you for the stream.